Good evening, we are back for another week of creating the Duckhook Golf Club. We are on to hole 11 and today there is still plenty to debate. And yes, as you've seen, we have a lot of topics that we throw in between to keep you entertained and to keep your comments coming through. So thank you for joining us over the last few days and for your support, and warm up those fingers, sit back, relax, and let's start typing. Like I said, we've got hole 11, it's Monday, so we'll see how far we get through the week. And I'm not the only one, everybody is back. Our main foursome. Hello, main foursome. Boom. How's everybody going?
What's up?
Good to you, Maz.
How was Saturday and Sunday for everybody?
Waiting for Monday.
Bad,
Waiting for Monday. Anybody go to get some boozos?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I wasn't too desperate. I got there was a queue, and I went, tomorrow's another day.
Exactly.
So here we sit. But the nice thing was, to be able to go for a stroll at 4:30 in the afternoon without having to worry that is illegal. So that was nice to see the sunset for a change from outside my place. So there we are. We are down to level 3 lockdown, boys, and we're none the wiser in what's happening with the golfing fraternity. There was a lot of oohs and ahs. And first, okay, let's dissect this. The professionals can play. The professionals can practice, right? So that's what they're doing. But it leaves 99.5% of the golfing public sitting at home, which helps absolutely nobody. Correct?
Correct.
Correct.
So they haven't really thought this through, have they? Ryan, what have you got to say on this subject?
Oh, I don't know, Maz. I'm disappointed that the sports minister is being the guy that he's being. But, we've got to follow the rules. We've managed to do it for this long. As frustrating as it is, I think we need to give Golf RSA the respect and Saga, all the sort of golf unions that are involved in that panel that's speaking to the sports and arts and whatever minister. They're trying. They're doing everything they can. I think we need to respect that. It is a bit ridiculous that it's not open from today. But, I think it's not far away. I think we're going to be surprised pretty soon.
Okay, well, we can only hope so. Hello, boys on the chat. Hello, Quibus. How's it, Joey? Thank you for joining us in time this time. Our faithful follower, Dorian. Dorian, thank you for the videos, but we might not show those.
Thanks.
We've got East. Look, Dorian says, love the masks. Yes. Ryan, great mask you've got going on there, the DHG mask. We have plenty more for sale if you do not have yours. So let us know. Drop us a note, and we will get it to you. We're not alone once again, so we have a guest. We're welcoming him back for his third show. And why do we have him? Because we value what he says. Who's on the show today? Can we please get a DHG drum roll? Boom. Hello, Basil. Welcome back, Mr. Pro Sunshine Tour Guy.
Hello, gentlemen.
Thank you
What
for
up?
joining us.
What are you doing, man? Very excited to be here.
Just before I Skyped you, I saw that the last time we actually Skyped you was 16 days ago. I can't actually believe that. So how's your last half a month been?
Oh, Maz, I've tried to change my routines up a bit. I've been running in the mornings, into our exercise curfew. And to be honest, I'm so glad that curfew's gone now, because I went for my usual afternoon runs, which I usually do. So I'm super stoked that curfew's gone, and slowly getting back into what we do every day.
Can I ask you a question? Is it easier to run in the morning or in the afternoon? Today I found it so much easier in the afternoon.
Oh, Maz, preference in the morning. It's a lot better. There's not so many cars, the smoke, people walking to, going to work. It's a lot more personal in the mornings. But I don't know, if you're a morning person, it's easy, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I like the mornings, man.
Okay. Bas, quickly, before we start moving on to a few things.
Sure.
You're a pro. What's your opinion on the whole lockdown level 3 situation?
Oh, Maz, to be honest with you, without the amateurs and the public and every single golf club, in this country, I can't do my job and I can't pursue my passion for golf. So I would really love for us all to get back onto the golf course, but you know what? We need to be patient about this, and we need to, just stand confident in the government and the decisions that they are making, even though they aren't what we want. We just have to be patient. It's all in good time, boys.
All in good time. Very correct.
I also think, sorry, Maz, a lot of golf clubs have come back to say they can't really open the golf course just for pros. I mean, it's not feasible financially at all for them.
Yeah.
And it's the amateurs provide the income for the tours to work. So
Yeah. So what the clubs are doing at the moment, Maz, is they're opening their restaurants and their bars, and they are actually, delivering food and beverages to those who want to still, get the experience of, halfways or having dinners at the clubs, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great initiative for those who, the waiters, the waitresses, the managers at the clubs, still to, get out there and work again, So slowly they are opening, and look forward to getting back out into our favorite clubs to play golf.
Great. Well, hopefully this level is not a month and it's short, and we can get back into some Duckhook action. The guys are itching to get out there and play some league matches, see their mates, and so on. The news in the PGA Tour, we know that the 11th is the Charles Schwab Challenge. This event starts the PGA Tour, restarts the PGA Tour, and for the first time, they've announced that the top 5 world-ranked players will be appearing at the tournament. Did you know that? I wouldn't have thought that. It's top 5. Number 1.
I'd appear at the tournament.
Hey?
I said if I could, I'd appear at the tournament.
Yeah, I'm sure. Royal McIlroy, the reigning FedEx Cup champ, John Rahm, Brooke Koepka, Justin Thomas, and Dustin Johnson, all in the top 5 making their appearance. So we'll build up to that and keep that in our thoughts as we go.
Awesome. Yeah, that's exciting.
Exciting. Okay, let's do what we're here to do. Let's recap on some of the 10 holes we've got so far, and then we go to look at which is going to be our 11th. I think this is going to be another easy one because as we move on to the back 9, a lot of these holes are accounted for in our setup. So let's go through this. Right, Fats, smash it out.
Right, first hole we had Reading. Second hole, the par 5 at Glendower. Then we had the little par 3 at Kyalami. Then the stroke 1 at Woodhill. Then we had Dainfern, the short par 4. 6th hole we had Copperleaf. Stroke 1 at Copperleaf.
There we go.
See, the memory is at least still there.
The memory's there, the buttons aren't.
And then, 7th we had the pit at Irene. 8th, the par 5 at Serengeti with the Island Green. 9th hole, we went for, now I can't remember, there we go, Blue Valley, of course. Mm-hmm. And then 10th hole, Glen Vista. Also another difficult hole.
Was our last debate, Glen Vista. Okay, so let's move on to the hole selections for today. What is the rundown? Well, we have 5 par 4s, we've got 2 par 3s, and we've got a lone par 5. Only 8 courses to choose from, as we mentioned, and many of them will be accounted for. Let's start with Eagle Canyon. Downhill par 3 at 150 meters. A hole with a great view. You can basically see the whole back 9 from there. I remember, Baz, when you played at the beginning of the year in that par 3, I think you got closest to the pin on that hole. You weren't very far away. Firethorn has a straightforward par 4 at 380 meters. Good drive, puts you in position. Highlands Gate is an epic par 5. Well, the first epic of the 2 par 5s. It's not as epic as the actual stroke 1. A small gate to drive into, and then it's down the hill. I've seen many guys using putters to advance the ball down to the bottom. we have
I am one of them.
Yeah, a stroke 7 if you're interested. Then the favorite today will be the signature hole at Royal Joburg's East Course. That's the stroke 1, par 4 at 432 meters with the water in front, tempting the big hitters. A great hole to make a par. Pekin has a par 4 stroke 4. I'm not going to say much more. Ibotsi has its second it's the second par 3 on the list, and this is the infamous downhill semi-island green that many ducks go missing in the open. You wouldn't think so, but it's amazing how you go left, too far up, or to the right. Houghton has a short par 4. You keep it left, away from the trees, or the road, or the school. Then Jackal Creek closes off the selection with a short par 4. The shortest of the bunch at 339 meters down the hill. So that is what we have for you, everybody. Okay. Whew, that was a
couple of great holes in there.
Mouthful. Okay. Right. Baz, you are guest today, and I know that you have not gone for that hole. So you tell us what hole you've gone for.
Oh, Maz, let's try this again. So from 1 to 10, there aren't any reward holes for me, drivable holes, risk and reward. So I've gone for the underdog tonight, and I've chosen Jackal Creek's 11th.
Okay. Nice.
Why?
So, well, like I said, the risk and reward, and also particularly because if you look at it, the Duckhook guys are only picking tough holes and dramatic holes, mostly that are close to stroke 1s, 6s, 5s. So I've gone for the stroke 15, if I'm not mistaken, and Bill, you could correct me there if I'm wrong. So I'm throwing that one in there just to get an easy hole in there, get a birdie for the guys. And, if you walk off that hole, making a par or a soft bogey, you're going to kick yourself in the backside. So
okay, so we've got one for Jackal Creek.
I'm gonna have to interject.
Go for it, Dom. This is what you're here for.
I think you are right. I think it is stroke 15. Unfortunately, it's not really a risk reward anymore. They don't use that forward tee. They've actually cut it out. So it's not drivable anymore. And on top of that, in front of the green, we've grown about 30 meters of rough. So the fairway stops, if you know the hole in the course, just where the last little bank is. The fairway now stops there, and it's all rough from there to the green. So the ball can't roll through there anymore. And nobody alive really can carry it 360 plus. So it doesn't play that yardage anymore because of the tee boxes that are used and have been taken out, and you can't run it up anymore. So unfortunately now it's you can't really hit driver into that rough. There's no shot there, so it's kind of like a 4-iron and a gap wedge. So not a particularly.
So Dill, what you're trying to say is I'm going to have to come and play there again, because the last time I played there was when I stayed in Augusta 10 years ago.
The course has changed.
We're going to have to come through.
Yeah, a lot of change there. And then look, I don't mind it as a whole, but what I really dislike is what's behind the green. There's just a random fall off about 5 meters to the cart path, and then about another 10 meters to the seventh green.
Correct.
And I mean, you can hit a chip shot a bit skinny and hit it about 40 meters over the green, because it's literally kind of banked up. So it would have been cool if maybe they put some bunkers at the back or something like that.
Yeah,
Stop the errant shot, something like that. But there's literally nothing there, a bit of rough. That's about it. So as I said, you can gum a little chip shot or gum one from that front bunker, and you can end up 20 meters or 15 meters below the level of the green and on a different hole. So it's something I don't like by that particular hole. And unfortunately, it's not really a risk reward hole anymore. So that's what I have to say about that.
Okay, so
that's why we're going for Bortzi's 13th big risk reward hole.
Yeah, proper.
Get in there, Ducky.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Right. So let me. No, Fats Royal East.
Yes.
Right. You gone Royal East?
I did.
Ryan Royal East. Dillon Royal East. Okay, I'm gonna fly over this video of Royal East for you, and then Fats, you go through this flyover.
Okay, so we're in there. The fairway's down there. I love this hole. It's a true stroke one. You need to get quite a big drive down there to have a decent second shot.
Big drive.
Also, you can't go too far left down the fairway, then you've got no shot into the green. And for the higher handicappers, play it as a par 5. You will stroke there. I mean, a 5 for 3 or 5 for 2, so you walk off with a net par. So you don't have to go driver. You can go 3-wood and then maybe a 8 or a 9 iron, lay it up, and then you got a wedge into the green. But for the lower handicappers, obviously you need a good straight drive. Try to get it to the right of the fairway, but you need to carry those trees on the corner as well.
Yeah.
So it's a brilliant golf hole with water in front. Absolutely stunning, and signature of Royal East, definitely.
And as the guys are saying down below, what a beautiful hole. Ryan, have you birdied that hole?
I have. Okay. Definitely. It's one that you try and target a birdie from, just because it really is a tricky hole.
Well, apparently Joe's made a birdie. I find that hard to believe.
I see that. I was going to ask about that. I saw that comment. I don't know what JBE is, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
carry on.
I agree with Fats. It definitely is. You have to favor your drive down the right side of the fairway. One thing I will add is that it really isn't the most difficult rough in that little bit that cuts in off the right side of the fairway. So if you favor a little bit more right than the edge of the fairway, you're actually fine. If you get away with monster drive, you will carry that and get onto the fairway. But if it lands in there, it normally sits quite nice, and you've got a pretty much straight shot to the green. And now they've grown the rough around the green. So if you do have a long iron in, that's not really going to check up on the green. You know, if you're getting your distance, your landing zone right, it's going to stop somewhere near the green. And then it's not the easiest chip around that green because it's quite a steep slope from the back of the green down towards the water. But depending on where the pin is, you really can reward yourself with a good second shot. When the tee's forward, I argue, and my coach agrees with me, that it's not really a driver hole. You can, pull out a three wood off the sort of forward men's box and just look for the fairway. You normally end with sort of a 170, somewhere there for your second shot. So it's not the longest iron shot in for your stronger players.
Yeah.
But then obviously with a forward box, the sort of higher handicappers can even go more right off the tee box and look for that shorter second.
Cool.
And quite a receptive green, I must be honest. Greens they're really starting to work properly now. It's been 2.5 years since the revamp was complete, which they've told us is about 2 to 3 years for greens to really show what they were made to be, what they were made to be like. And they really are. Royal, big ups to Royal on that. They've got them good.
Dill, give us your breakdown from your eye.
Yeah, the guys obviously agree with what they both say. Actually, I was going to say exactly what Fat said, is that, it can be a tough hole, but there's no reason why a mid or high handicap can't play it as a par 5. Just hit it down there, lay up in 2, hit it on the green and try and make a net birdie. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think, it is a risk-reward hole, in my opinion. As Ryan's describing there, you can hit 3 with 7 iron, which means, with that slightly raised green, yes, it does tilt back to you a little bit, but with that slightly raised green, you're still going to be hitting 7 iron in the middle of the green. You're not going to be going at the flag. But then if you do pull out driver, I've hit it quite far down there and hit gap wedges in there, and all of a sudden you can spin it back towards flags and hit it close. So I would say in that regard, it is a risk-reward hole. I think it's stunning. It's beautiful. It's almost a double dogleg. It's arguably, I try to think about it all day, it's arguably the best par 4 in the country in terms of what it offers, in terms of its beauty, in terms of how it can penalize you. Yeah, and it's just stunning. I think as well they can get clever there. So the front left flag is very tricky, and it makes the target tiny because the bunker essentially comes behind the flag then. And if you hit it in that bunker, it is a scary shot.
Not fun.
Everything is sloping down towards the water, and all you can see is that water, and you're just thinking, oh my gosh. I remember hitting it in there and contemplating playing out sideways.
Yeah.
And then the back right flag is quite tricky as well, because that back right section of the green kind of repels the ball, and then if you chip from that back right section down the hill again, it's quite easy to hit your chip shot sort of 10 or 12 foot past. So it's just a cracking golf hole. It's strong but rewarding. It's beautiful. It's got everything. It's got all the angles you want, all the tests that you want. I think it's the best I could think of.
I went for Highlands Gate.
You can take some beautiful photos there.
Yeah, I went for Highlands Gate 11th because I think it's a great hole. Just playability. You can play it so many different ways. Mr. Baz, you haven't been to Highlands Gate, so I got some videos for you just to look how pretty it is. So everybody has a minute of indulging. It doesn't show that par 5, but it does show you how pretty it is. Yes, going back to that par 5, there's not much to aim for off the drive. If you're off the back, it's near impossible. Just to get it into play so that you can hit your second into the sky, basically. You don't know where it's going. And then making sure that it stops before the little stream, and then still getting it over that and not duffing it into that stream. And if you overdo it, then you're into the back mound. So a very interesting par 5. I think many of you will agree.
I also think that par 5 plays differently depending on the wind.
Yeah.
So with a headwind, you won't reach the downhill. So you're going to have to lay up. Going for it from 230 out to that green is almost impossible into the wind, with the elevation as well. You don't know what distance to hit. You got the river in front of the green, you got the mound at the back, so it's a really difficult second shot. And then playing it with the wind, I mean, the long hitters, they carry the corner there, and you leave yourself with 130, 140 into the green. So, yeah, it can play really easy with a decent straight drive and really difficult into the wind. So I think it's the wind makes a big factor there. So it's two different holes. I mean, it can go from stroke 18 to a stroke 1 just with the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. But even from 140 hitting a wedge off that downslope, that green is so shallow, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like it's not an easy shot. You don't know if it's going to get up and ride the wind, or if it's going to stay down and the wind's going to knock it down. It's a tough shot.
Looking at the poll, so we've touched on Royal East. That seems to be the one for today. Nothing really else. Let's just quickly look at Rand Park as the second favorite. Let's just go through that whole. Gents, Rand Park's nothing too special about this par 3, I don't think. Well, here's everybody.
Very competitive par.
No, it's dead straight, a couple of bunkers. It's a good hole, but nothing special to it.
As you can see, just don't spray it too far to the right because the ball tends to keep going if you do it to the right. And
very challenging green that.
I was about to say the green for me is the only challenging thing on that hole.
Okay.
Tiered green, tough one. No?
And then let's flash through Botsy. This is that par 3 we were talking about down the hill.
Stunning hole.
I think it's a crackerjack hole.
You wouldn't think it's difficult, but this is tough.
One of the reasons we don't pick it is we already have that downhill par 3 from Irene. But this is right up there. I mean, it's a scary tee shot.
Clearly, it's not that odd. Fats Jokes leading drivers on there at the round there. So, I mean, come on.
No, but we did not get it on the green.
Still. So, yeah, beautiful hole. And then it's the next 12th, which is also... And then it gets to probably the one we're going to choose for the 13th. Okay, Pekinwood.
13, yes.
We've got a flyover for Pekinwood. Oh, why is this so small? This ain't supposed to be this small. Okay. So if you can see what's happening.
Move us around.
I can't. I'm trying.
It's okay. It's a nothing hole.
Just squint. Okay, so it's straight up. Boom, nothing hole. Apologies for that.
For me, though, I will say one thing about the Pekinwood hole is it's a deceiving shot to that green. You always think a bit more space short, like between the green and that bunker. I've played that course thousands of times probably, and there's like no space between that green and the bunker. And you always think like when it's a front pin, oh no, there's like a good 20 meters there, you know, I can land it just over the bunker, you end up in that bunker. And then it's not the nicest bunker shot because, it's a high lip bunker, but nice big green, so there's nothing really to that hole if you get your tee shot.
I've hit that bunker a couple of times.
It's a very nice...
Your second shot, because it's downhill as well, you think you could get more distance, but it's actually not that far downhill.
Yeah.
So you take like 5 meters off your shot, thinking, well, it's downhill, and then you still end up in the bunker.
Yeah. I'll also say for me at Pekinwood, it's the narrow hole of Pekinwood.
Yeah.
It's not narrow at all, but it's one of the few sort of par 4s where you've pretty much got fairway then houses. There's not really rough on that hole. So if you do miss the fairway at all, you're in trouble.
Okay, boys. There was Houghton on as well, the short little par 4 with the road, trees, and school on the right-hand side. Nothing too special, just keep it down the middle, and then easy birdie hole. I played with Sean Salmon, he was watching the other day, and he actually made a 2 there. Not the other day, in the league game last year sometime, from 150 out. Bang. So that was nice to see.
Nice.
I remember that.
Is there anything else on our
It's always
list?
nice when you have to putt on that green. That green is ridiculous.
Yeah, that green.
So just hit it in from 150.
Just having a look at any of the other holes we need to touch on? Not really. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting to the point in our creation that it's going to be quicker and easier to decide because many holes have spoken for themselves. Right, we've got one thing I wanted to do. Last show, we were talking about par 3 tenths around the world, and I mentioned the one that we play on WGT, and I wanted to show you, this is what it looks like. This is the 10th hole. You tee off. This is Congressional, if you missed it.
Now I do remember this one.
You go over the water, and then this flag is right up front on this lower shelf. So, you got to be brave.
I made an 8 there. The first WGT that I played with this thing.
The first and last time you played?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, boys. Well, that is it for today. We've been on for just over half an hour. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We've got hole 12 next. We'll let you know when we're back on air to discuss it as we wind down our selections. And I look forward to stroking all these holes. We can't only have stroke ones. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. So number 11 is Royal East. Well done.
Beautiful.
Great choice.
Basil, thank you for joining us once again. It's been a pleasure to have you on. Yes, everybody. Until we see you again,
Yes.
we are out of
Thanks,
here.
gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers, lad.
Hope to see you soon.